Welcome back to Auto Rev Now, your ultimate destination for everything fast, bold, and automotive. There are machines built to perform, and then there are machines built to redefine what performance means. The Ferrari F80 belongs to a rare category where engineering feels almost mythical. This is not simply another hypercar chasing numbers. This machine represents a statement, a fusion of racing DNA, radical aerodynamics, and technological ambition shaped into something almost unreal. From the very first silhouette, the Ferrari F80 communicates purpose. Every line appears carved by airflow, every contour driven by speed. Nothing looks decorative. Everything feels functional. Low, dramatic, and impossibly aggressive, it carries the kind of presence that makes still images feel alive. There is a unique emotion that only true performance icons create. Before the engine even fires, anticipation builds. You look at this masterpiece and sense that it was born from motorsport philosophy rather than conventional road car thinking. It feels like an endurance racer adapted for the streets, not the other way around. Power figures alone tell part of the story. 1,200 horsepower is more than a number. It changes the relationship between machine and driver. It shifts expectations. It transforms acceleration into an event. In a world already crowded with fast vehicles, this performance icon arrives to push the boundary even further. And yet what makes this vehicle fascinating isn't only raw output. It is how every component serves a bigger vision. The lightweight, materials, advanced hybrid engineering, active aerodynamic thinking, race-inspired architecture. Everything contributes to a singular objective, extracting speed without sacrificing precision. Look closely at the proportions. The stance is impossibly planted. The front appears sculpted for attack, while the rear seems designed to control turbulence at unimaginable velocities. This machine doesn't just look fast standing still, it looks engineered for battle. Then there is the emotional side. Because great performance cars have never been only about numbers. They are about sensation. About what happens when mechanical, sound, steering feedback, and acceleration combine into something unforgettable. Inside, the philosophy continues. Focused, minimal, driver-oriented. Every detail seems arranged to support concentration. There is no excess, no distraction. It feels closer to a cockpit than a luxury interior, yet still carries the sophistication expected from an elite machine. And that contrast is part of its appeal. Brutal, yet refined. Extreme, yet controlled. Future-driven, yet deeply connected to racing heritage. That duality is what elevates this vehicle beyond spectacle. Imagine the launch, energy building, systems primed, power waiting, then throttle. The response is immediate and violent in the best possible sense. Not chaos, precision. A carefully orchestrated explosion of engineering. Speed arrives so rapidly, it alters perception. Moments like that define hypercars. But straight-line speed alone doesn't create greatness. True legends reveal themselves in corners. That is where machines like this become art in motion. Grip, balance, aero efficiency, weight distribution, these are the invisible forces shaping the experience. They may not dominate headlines like horsepower figures, but they separate extraordinary from historic. And this masterpiece feels designed with that understanding at its core. There's something cinematic about watching a machine like this move through light and shadow. Reflections sliding over carbon surfaces, brake details glowing beneath sculpted wheels, aerodynamic channels catching sunlight. Every angle offers another layer. That is why vehicles like this belong in cinematic storytelling. They are not simply transportation, they are visual drama, mechanical sculpture, rolling ambition, and perhaps what makes this performance icon especially compelling is what it symbolizes. We are watching the next chapter of performance evolve, where combustion heritage and electrified power merge not as compromise, but as enhancement. For purists, that could sound controversial, but this machine argues otherwise. Technology here doesn't dilute emotion. It intensifies it. It amplifies capability. It expands possibility. And maybe that is the real story. Not just that this vehicle is astonishingly fast, but that it points toward where performance is heading. A future where engineering can be even more extreme, more intelligent, and more emotionally engaging. That is rare. Many machines impress. Few inspire. This one feels built to do both. Even standing still, it carries movement in its form. Even silent, it suggests sound. Even parked, it feels ready. And that presence is difficult to fake. Great automotive design has always carried tension, elegance and aggression, control and violence, tradition and innovation. This masterpiece seems to hold all of it at once. And maybe that's why it resonates so deeply. Because beyond speed records or technical achievements, it captures imagination. It reminds us why performance cars matter, why enthusiasts obsess over them, why posters become dreams, why machines become icons. There is heritage behind that. Racing victories, engineering breakthroughs, decades of relentless pursuit, and you can feel echoes of all of it in this vehicle. Every vent, every proportion, every aerodynamic solution, every detail. Purpose layered over passion. For those who love automotive excellence, this isn't merely another release. It feels like an event, a moment, a benchmark, something future machines will inevitably be measured against. And that is not a claim made lightly, because the hypercar world does not reward mediocrity. It rewards obsession, and obsession is visible everywhere here. This machine does not appear designed around compromise. It appears designed around possibility. What if weight could be reduced further? What if aero could work harder? What if power delivery could feel even sharper? What if a road car could edge closer to race car intensity? Questions like those create legends, and this performance icon feels born from exactly those questions. Watching it in motion, there is a sense of controlled violence. A machine always holding more capability than the road can reveal. That hidden reserve creates intrigue. You know there is more, always more, and that mystery adds to its aura. Some vehicles impress through luxury, others through rarity, some through speed alone. But occasionally, one emerges that feels larger than all of those categories. This masterpiece belongs in that conversation, because it is not simply fast, not simply advanced, not simply beautiful. It feels significant, and significance is rare. For enthusiasts, machines like this become reference points. Before this, after this, that is the territory of icons. And perhaps the most remarkable thing is how naturally this vehicle carries that weight. No forced drama, no exaggerated spectacle, just extraordinary engineering speaking for itself. And sometimes that is the strongest statement of all. As the automotive world moves forward, machines like this remind us progress doesn't have to sacrifice emotion. Innovation can still stir the soul. Technology can still feel visceral. Performance can still feel poetic. And when all of that converges, something special happens. A car becomes more than a car. It becomes a symbol, a dream, a masterpiece in motion. And that is exactly why this machine matters. This is Auto Rev Now, where horsepower meets passion. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss our next review.